So now we get to watch Bill's deck from inception here.
I'm excited for this. This obviously the deck is performing very well today, in spite of having power threes in it.
You sub for a quick switch, Shrant? You got it, buddy. Here you go. Quick switch.
No, he's saying that he would sub to my OnlyFans. That's what he's saying.
Oh, gosh darn it! I thought we were gonna sub out of him.
He's already subbed. I thought.
I know. I'm just.
You don't need to pander to Shrant.
I'll pander to whoever I want to pander to.
Yeah, you. All right, you do whatever you want. All right.
I lost Neil.
You lost me?
Yeah, on my secondary screen it doesn't show you anymore. I don't know what my Zoom is doing.
Oh. You said OBS was acting weird.
It is acting weird. Okay, I got you. All right, so Matt
the immediate three-eyed owl.
Yep.
Hey, Shrant, thank you so much.
Shrant, you are an absolute boss, dude.
He's just trying to jump you in the who I missed from Lincoln.
Yeah, well, with that, he probably can do that. I think that's only fair here. So that's super awesome. 5 community gifts from Shrant here. What a wonderful man. 6 basics for the Xander. Got a little cam curse going on here.
Yep. Normally, I think probably not a big deal for Xander, but in the mill matchup, it might cause a few extra steps towards the win condition for Matt.
Yeah, I mean, Xander sort of plays with like a 29 card deck, right? So it's hard. I think this is a hard matchup for Mill. Life totals being what they are, and then Xander recursion. Like, yeah, you just saw exactly. It just forced an exhaustion of dice, not actual loss of card.
Yeah, and I mean, it's still something you have to play around. Like, it's not free.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not as bad as it could be. So it that's what we assumed was going to happen, right? It was that he was going to play around owl by just pitching whatever ally.
Right. I mean, Xander does have a nice way to counter ally for sure. So Matt meditates a heal and a hollow, threatening that meteor. Would he first 5 a meteor? Your Matt, do you first 5 a meteor here? Seems all right? Because you can play Orchid Dove, get a card.
It depends on what he puts Bill on, I think. Right. This was what I thought was more likely was just an Essence Druid.
Mm-hmm. Make double owl.
And Essence Druid is just good against the battlefield decks, right? Like,
sure.
Like Ceresaurus does not look great into this Essence Druid. Essence Druid is kind of a liability against specifically Earthquake, but like every creature is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have Anchor not targeting Essence Druid. That's interesting. I wonder why that is.
Molten Gold?
That's possible.
Just Molten Gold the Druid. Get it out of the way. I've played a fair share of Molten Golds into Druid, that's for sure.
What's interesting to me about that is that the play that you would think is telegraphed would be Anchor not the owl, so that when you Earthquake Druid, you get both. Oh, but he started Fester.
He went ahead and Fester that. That's a bold play.
So he must have Knight as his last card, I think.
No, Frostbite Bear. I mean, Frostbite Bear.
Frostbite Bear is essentially Knight, right? Like, it's like a 3 dice guy.
And it's really good on bypass for the board that Matt will build. So the Essence Druid being your only real threat, making and starting Fester makes a lot of sense here, because you can essentially make Ceresaurus, get a point of damage in. So you're gonna.
I like the start from the Xander for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a really good answer to Mill here from
This,
Bill.
however, is a start that would get crushed if he did first 5 of Meteor.
Yeah, for sure. If Matt is on first 5 Meteor, then this board's gonna be wild. This last owl doesn't do anything exactly, so we do see Meteor here. So I guess you just strand Bill on dice by doing that.
Yeah, it essentially kills the Ceratosaurus, right? Like,
Yeah.
you don't. It would be real greedy to try to get the Salamander Monk, and it's likely that you would take some damage. So by doing it there and killing Bear plus essentially killing Ceratosaurus, you save yourself a ton of life.
Right. So we do see the Magic Siphon start. Wasn't Matt the one that said starting Magic Siphon is a good way to guarantee you lose? I'm pretty sure that came out of his mouth at one point.
I know that he is not high on starting the dice fixers, and that's why he plays so many copies of it so he can draw it. But in this particular case, if you believe that that your Meteor is essentially going to pick up a large dice differential like it did, you're okay to start a utility card like that doesn't play to the board, right? Because you have the board locked down with your Meteor. I'm not a big fan of starting it, but his first 5 worked out very well because he ended essentially equal on dice going into round 2, but ahead on life, and he did get to start his Magic Siphon, which I think this deck normally doesn't.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we're going into round 2 now. Now Bill gets to be first player here. But yeah, I think that's a very interesting set of opens from both players, to be honest. Like, I like Frostback Bear. Obviously, you're going to have to play through these meteors.
Well, with one meteor gone now, like, the new Frostback Bears are less potent. Or I'm sorry, that are more potent because it's less likely that he has the next meteor.
Right. This has potentially another Druid.
It's hard to tell. Like, right, and Druid is going to be good every time he plays it.
Hollow is going to be pretty tough on the dice spread. I'm guessing Matt's going to roll down probably the Salamander Monk die. And he rolled down the Divine die. Okay. So takes away 2 books with that. He takes away the Ceratosaurus mount and the Salamander Monk play without meditation.
The biggest thing it hits is when you hit the Divine, you turn off the make Ceratosaurus then attack play.
Right. You also turn off Xander. Well, Xander's already recurred, so we're just going to see Raptor Herder from Bill here. Also good in this scenario, I think. Hollow's done its work, though, so it can easily just be a wall against these hatchlings and group tactics.
Yeah, Hollow is a little skeptical against the Earthquake deck, but until he has a big guy that you want to Earthquake, it's good, and he's not going to Earthquake into his board of many.
Just second Hollow here, really punishing these meditations. So
that's going to add up.
He is pushed down a number of things here.
And he's meditated for another pair of lions. Second Earthquake this round would be pretty damn good. Or not Earthquake, Meteor.
It almost feels like Raven would have been pretty good here too, though.
I disagree. His 2 core threats have 3 life.
Well, Raven has 3 attack. And Quick Strike.
Yeah, but this is not an attacking deck.
Sure, but it's
like all that Raven is going to do. He doesn't have the ability really to pressure PB guard.
Sure.
So the Raven just deals 3. it doesn't actually fight those guys, and it can't kill them with the enter the battlefield ability.
Sure. So and make another owl. So Matt's still just on this like go ahead and mount plan if you want. He is still threatening a meteor here again. Neil,
Right. Eventually, it's going to be very difficult for him to not get attacked by a Ceratosaurus at some point.
Neil, you're not going to believe this. We are 6 subs away from hitting the first sub milestone on Twitch. I never thought that would happen.
Dropped that 5 sub.
I know, because he's insane, but we love him. It's wild.
Honestly, like I'm like happy that Trent gave us sub bomb, and I'm just disappointed in 5 people in chat that I like are always here and not subbed.
Especially the Bezos money, man. That's all we want. No, I'm kidding.
we do not deserve nor request your subs. No one is.
Gunshy Killer coming in with the Bezos money. Thanks, Gunshy. That's awesome.
You guys are too good to us. We do not deserve the.
No, we don't. We don't.
That kind of support. It's like if you want to follow us, that's great. Like obviously that doesn't take much of your effort, and I don't feel bad asking for that if you come and enjoy our stuff. But when you start giving us actual money, then I feel bad.
Well, any money they give us just ends up back in prizes. That's all
that's true. Happens. Yeah,
that's all that ever happens. So I mean, we're not doing this for any sort of plan to have a living, make a living off of this.
See, Xander makes a bear, and Matt comes back with the immediate memory drain to hit a choke. Choke. This has to be like the worst matchup for choke ever.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it'd be super good. Although Sarius Purge does
get in.
The Sarius Purge does add up, right? But yeah, Bear does get in here. Are we still in round 2? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have a Shepherd for Essence Druid here. Again, Essence Druid looking pretty good against all of the guys in the Xander deck. But vulnerable to Fester like we saw in round 1 and also Earthquake. And Bill goes into tank a little bit, meditates away his Salamander Monk book. Plays the Butterfly.
Mm-hmm. I like Butterfly here.
Yeah, it's all right. I think the downside to Butterfly is that you don't get the additional attacks after your Earthquake.
Right. So here comes Druid bringing back another owl. So we're going to get double owl here again. It's going to force that last card out of Bill's hand here.
It's going to pressure him to play from his hand rather than activate his spell board.
So if that's an Earthquake, then, you know.
Earthquake looks good here. Like, I mean, Earthquake always looks good, but.
Doesn't look too bad. Going to make a Ceratosaurus.
Okay. Obviously, if your plan was to make Ceratosaurus, you can't Earthquake before that.
Right. Gonna attack the Shepherd. I would have valued the owl attack here.
I don't know. It's hard to say because since he switched to Butterfly Monk, the Shepherd does like essentially trade dice for dice with the Butterfly.
Sure.
But yeah, I agree. I think Owl
Owl's your bigger threat, I think, overall. Like if like Shepherd goes into Butterfly Monk and you like Butterfly Monk, counter Shepherd, kill Shepherd, and like heal one, that doesn't feel terrible at all. Like even if it is a trade.
I would be interested. I think that it's like extremely marginal. Like it doesn't matter very much. But I do think that Owl is slightly more likely to kill you than
with these dice standing is there's the Master Vampire. I was gonna say, are we seeing a vampire play here?
Well, he meditated it. So he still has dice for Sonic Swordsman, though both swordsmen are gone too.
Yeah, but he didn't meditate the sympathy die up to make swordsman here. He meditated up the.
Well, he doesn't have any swordsmen left.
He meditated up the ceremonial die, which would be likely to be. But so now you got to play this card because the owl's going to force you to discard it anyways.
Yep. I mean, assuming he can. He most likely can. I don't know that there's a card in his deck he can't play, but it just might not be good. I guess he can't. If it's a reaction, he can't play it. Like if that's an Angelic Rescue or a Crescendo or something.
Yeah, but I would have thought that those cards, if that's what that card is, it would have been meditated away over top of deck because it's pretty dead in this matchup. Yeah.
Though,
what Bill's trying to play around is the fact that Matt potentially has a Meteor here. And so if he plays Vampire into Meteor, like that's not super great for him.
So he's spending the Ceremonial. Is he just Ceremonial Power?
It must be. Is this just like pay a life to let Owl eat a card that you don't want to lose? Like, so you protect the card you don't want to lose? Anchornut.
Anchornut's a card you could play for sure. It's not good here, but yeah, I that might be what it is. Is like his last card is Earthquake or something. Nope. Okay, so he's just firing off the Anchornut.
This actually, he can shoot the Owl and then Divine Power the Anchornut if he wants to here.
He's still gonna get memory drained.
Sure. And he loses the Fester. Yeah. I see why he wanted to keep it that way, but he didn't have the dice to protect the Fester.
Yeah, it's this is like everybody complains about Owl. We had like big long discussion about Owl last week or whatever. This is the game that shows like that supports those people's argument.
Yeah.
That
it's pretty rough for sure.
We have a little chip damage from the Essence Druid there.
Yeah, those chip damages, though, they're going to add up here when you start talking about fatigue and
he fires off the Meteor.
Late round doves. It's so good.
It's so good when it doesn't kill your... This again, like, I think he should have Anchornutted the Essence Druid this time. For this reason.
Yeah.
Seeing the two lions...
Well, you're through 2 Meteors now, so you've got one more to play through.
Yeah, but at what cost, right? Like that's
can you win? Yeah, that's going to be the big question mark here. Can you win getting through 3rd Meteor here?
Druid crashing, pow.
Yep.
No control druids this time, just 2 damage.
Makes sense. One of the hard things about me doing these overlay updates is when both Phoenix Born are on the same life totals and they have the same starting life, it's a mess. It's a lot. I'm like, which one am I updating? Am I updating the right one? All right, so we get a bear. I mean, I would think we'd start seeing Xander potentially start to get back into this game a little bit here. Meditates an Angelic Rescue away from their hand. Angelic Rescue actually isn't completely terrible here against that last Meteor, but I think
that's
there's better
the
plays.
Only card it's good against.
Yeah, like, I think there's better plays you could make here.
Because he doesn't have Violinist, does he? No, he did. Oh, yeah. He has 2 Violinists. So there are 2 cards that it's good against, but neither one it's like insane against.
Matt just being proactive here.
It would be better if the Meteor did 2 first and then 1, but because it does 1 first and then 2, you I guess either way it just stops all 3.
So Matt uses Shepherd to bring back a hollow. This stays really proactive on his mill plan. I mean, we're going to get into fatigue here pretty quickly.
That's an interesting choice. I mean, I think that the more telling thing about Hollow is that he must have other expensive cards in his hand to play with, because otherwise,
well, Matt does have that.
He doesn't have a druid to get. Never mind.
But he might have Shatter Pulse. He's holding the double sympathy for Shatter Pulse right now.
Yeah, Hollow was just his only choice. That was the. I thought that he had an Essence Druid in there, but it was already recurred.
Do we see the Shatter Pulse here to kill the bear from Matt? It's definitely thinking about it.
Maybe.
He definitely have minimized half of the power of Shatter Pulse here with, and he passed on it because he doesn't have the dice up to make Shatter Pulse work well here.
Okay, so he's got a kneel. That's pretty good.
Yep.
It certainly like.
So Matt just uses Heart's Pull.
It removed a lot of power from the board.
Yeah, and Matt just Heart's Pulled and got a Meteor off the top of the deck.
A Molten Gold?
Yeah. Or a Molten Gold, sorry. My bad. Said Meteor. We've been talking Meteor for 20 minutes now.
The kneel also stops the Ceratosaurus for a time.
For a time being, yeah. And if you're Bill, you got to start considering, like, are you just going to play 5 dice around because of all the spin down and all of the other stuff that sort of goes on? I mean, I don't know how well Bill... I didn't pay attention exactly how well Bill rolled here in round 3.
His rolls have been okay after round 1. Not anything spectacular, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Right.
So he meditates away Ceratosaurus now.
Just another Raptor Herder coming down, taking full advantage of that 6 battlefield from Xander here.
I wonder what he thinks is in his deck that... I mean, he just must not think he's ever going to get a Ceratosaurus in play again.
There's the EV.
Ooh, Violinist.
Oh, Ice Trap on the back end of that Violinist.
That's
a good Ice Trap, everybody. Wow. That's going to let this... you can meta into this Ceratosaurus if you want.
Yeah, I'm not sure that... Well, he doesn't have Ceratosaurus anymore. He meted it away.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Let's make a Butterfly Monk.
Yeah.
Make a Butterfly Monk and turn on group tactics, or just leave the group tactics off and try to go into the next round with a big wide board and double group tactics Raptors and smash.
I think he's just playing for a very large attack next turn, but it's not going to be as large as he wants it to be because
Matt's still got a Cobra up.
Yeah, and he can Xander block the Cobra, I guess, and still have a million guys, but
so there's the Cobra.
Unless he can kill this Essence Druid.
Well, the Essence Druid's only going to block 1 unit, and so it's going to be the bear.
Maybe. I mean, he might take 2 from the bear and value killing something else, but probably the bear.
Yeah. I mean, it's never bad to block Essence Druid and a bear. The Essence Druid takes 0 damage.
Yeah, and he's got 2nd Orchid Book, so now he's got 2 more blockers.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a tough place here for Bill.
A lot of the 3rd Orchid Book.
Yeah. So Matt's going to be able to fill his battlefield with all these doves. Bill's going to need to Earthquake, and Earthquake feels pretty bad against...
Earthquake feels bad when your board is also all dead to it.
And you're turning around and giving up 3 cards out of your deck because there's 3 doves in play.
Well, that's going to happen anyway. Like those dove, he has the option of getting billed by those doves that are in play already.
Yep.
Or losing the game because he never attacks or plays any spells that play to the battlefield ever again.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's not much choice there, but so there's the heal. Matt's going to heal over playing that last dove. We've seen him do that just not to fill his battlefield.
Yeah, you might as well spend the dice while you have it. He's got enough cards left in this pile that I don't think he's worried about going to fatigue.
So we're on to round 4 here. Matt's got first player token. Or, excuse me, Bill's got first player token. My bad. Said that incorrectly.
But his attacks are just like very mad. I think he has to do it. I think you have to, like, the way that he wins this game is he attacks all out now, and then he has an earthquake to refill for another big attack this round.
So I think if you're going to do that, right, then you mount your anchor knot.
You can't mount. The Ceratosaurus is gone.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he meant it that way. I was busy doing something else, I guess, not paying attention. And you told me that once already, and it still didn't register.
Yeah, like I said, I think the only way he swings all out here, kind of like fights for a board position, plays Earthquake to kill the Essence Druid, mostly to like empty out his own slots to make more guys, and gets another big attack this turn, or at least a shot at a big attack at the beginning of next turn. Though we're in a situation now where it's 50-50 that that he has a meteor again.
Yeah, Chad.
Chad, it's all open deck list.
Yep. They still have to. They don't know who they're going to be paired with, obviously. So, I mean, they still have to on the fly make quick decisions.
At this round, you have a pretty good idea of who you're going to be paired with.
Yeah.
So
this is a longer round. We've not had any game reports come in yet.
We also haven't played very long yet. Like
we're about 30 minutes in.
25 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah. Some of the fast decks are usually done by this point, but we'll probably get them pretty soon here.
Is this a Fester? No. It's a nature ping on Essence Druid and then attack?
Yeah.
That seems weird.
I don't know what you're going to get out of that. I guess just why not clear the dove then?
I don't understand, because Crescendo is why.
Oh yeah, that would be yep.
That's obvious.
Kills the druid off of Crescendo here.
But I still think he should have swung with the squad.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think
put a damage on your bear and just crash with the squad.
I don't think at this point you can live off of just bear attacks when your deck is as low as it is.
I guess if you don't have a Crescendo, if you don't have an Earthquake.
I mean, because
crashing with the squad doesn't really do anything.
He did he had an Earthquake. He got rid of it on the Crescendo. He discarded the Earthquake.
Oh, weird.
So like my point being is like
he's worried about there's no Golden Veils.
And Saria Heart's Pulse gets another card here.
Yeah, it gets the last Angelic Rescue. So
now we know the two Cobras here are going to get it done. In terms of pulling the last two cards off the deck, because you're going to get a Cobra attack here. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I think you had the window of opportunity. I get why you Crescendo the way you did, and I think that's good, but I don't think you're going to get there on just double bear when you're almost decked out. Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure I like the quick discard.
It's possible he's trying to he might be doing just like he doesn't want to kill these doves. Here's a meteor.
So there's another meteor. This is just a 1 damage meteor, or is it a? There we go.
I'm not sure. It looks like a 1 damage meteor.
Yep, it was a 1 damage meteor. Now the doves are going to do burn damage. So Saria's going to take another 2 here.
Meteor's a hell of a card.
Well, what are you going to do if you're Billy? You can't play this Butterfly Monk. You can Xander back a Raptor.
I think
Xander back Master Vampire.
I mean, it's going to be some Xander abilities that are going to win this game, if anything.
So he does
gets
bring back the
master
vamp.
note.
Yeah, he does bring back the vamp.
Yeah, playing the bigger units, like
well, the nice thing about this vamp is it essentially slows down the dove burn by 1, right?
well,
And
no, I mean, like it gains you 1 life is one of the modes of it, but essentially we're talking about life trades here.
right.
So he has to win the game somehow, which means he needs to be attacking face. So if you choose to attack unit to gain a life, you're actually like going down 2 in the race because you had a potential 3 damage to your opponent.
Yeah, but you still got double bear on online. You know, I mean that's
yeah,
maybe
maybe the one I don't know.
I don't see
at this point,
a world where
now that he's playing Shepherd and he's going to put a couple guys in play, you're not getting through for 3 anyway. So
yeah, that's why I think you just go straight at this owl and heal 1.
Yeah. Now that the owl's in play, then that's definitely a prime target.
I mean, I think Matt's plan here is to beat you on fatigue damage. You're going to take 2 fatigue as it sits right now, playing no cards from hand, and then you're going to start taking. You're going to take another 2 damage from the dove.
Yeah,
so you're going to take
owl is definitely a very big threat here. So
yeah. Now the question will be is
yeah, he passed.
I wonder why. Does he think that Matt's got another druid? It's very possible Matt's got another druid here.
I think he just thinks that that Matt wants to spend his other dice and that passing was safe there, though it's definitely is risky because if Matt had just chose to pass, like
Bill just takes some damage. But yeah, we're seeing the owl recursion now.
Yeah. I don't think there was a world where Matt was gonna pass because it seems like among 4 dice and cards he has stuff to do, and that stuff to do probably kills bears. In this case, it doesn't kill bears, but it kind of turns them off.
This owl is just being a menace in this game.
Yeah. Okay, so Earthquake.
Earthquake good here. Earthquake is extremely good here.
It was pretty good. It's not great because the owl didn't get killed.
Well, the thing you have to worry about now is Matt's going to go top around with Neil, so your vampire and your bear are going to get kneeled.
I'm just surprised he didn't attack owl with vamp last turn.
I think he had an opportunity to kill one of these owls, make it look like the board was getting opened up, and then turn around and drop that earthquake to effect. But what do I know? I mean, it is possible that with Matt's plan to win on fatigue and off of these orchid doves, that butterfly and vampire may be enough healing.
Oh, there's no way. Just the doves alone outpace the.
Well, there's two monks, right? So vampire plus monk is 3. If you can get your monks killed.
Well, so every turn you get 1 monk and 1 vamp. Every turn you get 3 doves. Like sure. 2 is less than 3. So you're going to lose that race over time.
Sure.
And here's the last owl to get the last card in hand.
Yep. Lots of healing going on here. Xander's at 12.
What this game really was is one thing. We made a cobra. That's weird. I guess he wants to kill the bear.
Yep, he can.
Okay. So this game shows that owl is good. That's not really any new information. This game was an excellent representation of how Meteor is good.
For sure.
I know we all know Meteor is good, but like Matt played this game in a way that made Meteor very, very good. Where his Meteors, even if they didn't literally trade for more than 2 dice, like even, because he lost some stuff to it, like he made sure that he got full use out of all his guys before they died to meteor, or that they were guys that when they died to meteor that was their use. And he meteored at times before his opponent got to use this thing. So
how did Matt return Druid to hand? Oh, Shepherd. Oh yeah. Shrant says, you guys know my thoughts on the Crescendo card. Yeah, apparently.
He's been thinking about it for the past 2 hours.
He's like, when's there going to be another Crescendo played?
Shrant's got Crescendos on the brain. But yeah, it's not looking good now for Bill, obviously. Xander never out of it because of the Xander ability, but
it's fair, Shrant.
Pretty close.
It's understandable.
God. Okay, Vampitex Owl. Matt is fine with this. Like, you just don't care.
Yep. And he brings Xander.
If Matt was a Phoenix-born Meteor, would be his signature card.
Oh, he had the Shatter Pulse. Kills the Vamp on the Shatter Pulse, leaving Bill with 9 basics.
That's funny.
Oh my
God. With 8 basics. He has a ceremonial class.
That's rough.
Yeah, Matt has engineered himself a position where he's so far ahead that even Shatter Pulse is a good card.
Well, Matt told me, like, after we played in AshCon, because he played a very similar list in AshCon that my Odette list was beat in AshCon, that he just wished he had a single Shatter Pulse because Root Armor is his nemesis. He has no way to deal with Root Armor.
Right.
And so, end of the day, he slots a single Shatter Pulse just for that Root Armor combination. But yeah, this is just an example of Matt just like pouring it on here at the end. And rightfully so. I mean, Matt deserves to play his cards, but that was rough on Bill.
That Shatter Pulse was brutal for sure. So we have a discard meditate, make a Frostback Bear.
And a bunch of Dove activates, yep.
And dude, Bill's playing for those blood points. He's got a bear he can attack with.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're nowhere near time, Leonard, so I think we're okay. But
this is like this would be the BM turn, where if you played Neil right now, that's the BM. Like, just to stop the bear from getting the 2 blood points. Like,
yeah, that's for sure. And Bill does get in for the 2 here. Matt gives him a couple of blood points. Doesn't play the Neil. It's possible that the last card in deck is Neil.
Blood points are a tiebreaker, Leonard, though I believe both of these players are probably locked for top 4.
Yeah. Some BM.
Bad manners.
Bad manners. Oh,
that's the that was what I was saying. Is like the real BM was if he kneeled that bear to stop the blood points.
There's going to be a number of potential 3-1s.
There will be tiebreakers, Leonard, because there will be one undefeated and then a bunch of 3-1s. But the blood points is the third tiebreaker. Your opponent's win percentage is your
second
tiebreaker.
The second tiebreaker.
It's the same as the regular Shufflebus seasons.
Yeah. The second tiebreaker is a little difficult right now because we've only got 2 rounds in. So this third round will really start to differentiate second tiebreakers and see how many people are still tied on that tiebreaker. It doesn't happen as often as you think, but every Shufflebus season when we have like 40 players, we probably get 2, maybe 3 players where blood points matter. Not necessarily matter to cuts, but just matter to final positioning.
Right. The final position is just like bragging rights, right? Like it doesn't actually mean anything. The top cut is the only thing that the tiebreakers are really for.
I think just Cam in season 1 got edged out slightly on breakers, but we didn't use blood points that season, so we incorporated the blood points after that to help with the strength of schedule component. And at that time we were using Challenge, which Challenge only uses a median Buckholz tiebreaker, which is terrible. So That's one of the reasons I started going down the software adventures. We've used 3 softwares now, but Smash has been our go-to ever since. If you drop killer, I don't know what your current win rate is, but there's a floor and a ceiling to that. So if you're currently
Yeah,
0-2 or 0-3 and you drop,
dropping will affect your
opponent's breakers.
Your opponent's breakers, but
it's just your choice.
I would encourage you to play because playing in this is awesome. But like, if you need to go, don't take that into account because
we'll never guilt anybody into place 3 wins. You're just going for those blood points.
Had the old molten gold for blood points. We're gonna have a attack for 3.
Yeah.
And then
this is round 6.
We'll die to fatigue. I don't know what round it is.
Yeah, it's round 6.
Well played again by both players. Matt really putting on a meteor clinic here.
Yeah. For sure. Showing the power, and I think showing a lot of power in Saria too. That 4th spellboard slot is very, very important, I think, to this deck, being able to freely run those siphons and still play the other 3 mill components. So there we go. We see Matt pull off the win and Bill pull 12 blood points here.